Welcome back to Ryan Jacobson Weather. Hope you guys are all doing well. Hope your Sunday's off to a great start. Let's hop right into the forecast for today. And as you can see, the weather is very active right now across the U.S. We have this low pressure tracking right now across the Midwest, bringing snow to northern portions of the Midwest going into the Northeast and the New England region. We also have that freezing rain potential still occurring across the same areas. We're also going to see severe thunderstorm outbreak probably today, a largest warm sector here across the central U.S. going into the eastern U.S. So let's hop right into the forecast for today. So this is the current setup right now, and as you can see, we have that low pressure right now situated across Iowa. Here's that giant warm sector that we have here. This is going to trigger off our severe weather outbreak today. We also, like I said, there's that cold section of the storm here up north. We got freezing rain and a little sliver of snow here in the Midwest going into the Northeast and the New England region as well. I'm going to push this forward for you guys, and this is going to this afternoon. And there you go. Look at this thunderstorm explosion here all the way from Ohio going all the way south almost to Texas here. And this is where our severe weather outbreak is going to occur today. I'm expecting a major severe weather outbreak today. We'll break each day down here in a second, but I think large hail is going to be possible today, along with a couple of tornadoes. And I also do believe that there's going to be very strong damaging wind gust across majority of these areas that are being, that are under the gun for severe weather today. I don't think there's going to be a ton of tornadoes today. I definitely think there's going to be a couple. I would say for me, I would say there's probably going to be 6 to 12 tornadoes. That's what I would forecast for today, which is still definitely a lot. But I think the damaging wind threat is going to be definitely the highest today. And I think we could see some very strong damaging winds across a large majority of the risk today. So as I push this forward here, this is going to early Monday morning here. Kind of that risk, dies down overnight. And then look at these storms refire off tomorrow here across portions in the Northeast, going to the Mid-Atlantic, and then going down into the South. Again, they have issued an enhanced risk for severe weather tomorrow. I'll break that down for you guys in a second. I'm not expecting it to be as severe as today, but I do think some damaging winds and even a tornado or two are possible going into tomorrow. As I push this forward here, that storm finally gets off the coast, and the severe weather system that we've been talking about over the last couple of days will be over. But look at this. You shift your attention. This is now going to Tuesday afternoon here. 984 millibar low pressure system coming right out of Kansas here. And look at this. Another area of thunderstorm explosion where you got, again, that warm sector, cold sector. You got some snow up here in portions of Wisconsin going into North and South Dakota as well as Minnesota. And you have this warm sector here firing off thunderstorms. And this again looks like it could be a potential for another severe weather outbreak. This is going to Wednesday here, and you can see these storms really begin to take off here on Wednesday. And it looks very, very similar to what we're going to be seeing today. A giant warm sector here, a large range of thunderstorms basically all the way from Ohio back to Texas. And again, I think damaging winds are definitely going to be possible going into Wednesday as well. I think that tornado threat will also be elevated. This is now going into Thursday here. And you can see maybe we have some more severe weather. This is Thursday morning going into the afternoon. Definitely a possibility for more severe weather down to the south here across portions of Kentucky all the way down to into Louisiana and eastward. And then this severe weather threat kind of continues. This is now going to Friday here. Maybe we even see another severe weather threat going to Friday afternoon across portions of Oklahoma, going to Missouri, as well as Texas and Louisiana. So a very, very active next 5 days of weather is ahead of us. I think we're going to see severe weather each of these next 5 days, and I think it's really going to add up here. We have a slight or enhanced risk for severe weather already for the next 5 days. So it's going to be very interesting what's going to occur over these next couple of days, and I think some major severe weather outbreaks are unfortunately very possible. This is the Storm Prediction Center website, and as you can see, today we still have that enhanced risk for severe weather. This is what it says for today. It says numerous severe thunderstorms are expected today and tonight across a broad portion of the southeast and lower/mid Mississippi Valley into the Ohio Valley and southern Great Lakes. Multiple swaths of widespread damaging winds appear likely. Large to very large hail and several tornadoes will also occur with supercells. A few of these tornadoes could be strong. So let me go into today's risk here. And you do not see an enhanced risk for severe weather this large. And some of the bigger areas in this risk is Detroit, Michigan. So we're going to have severe weather all the way up into Michigan today. Indianapolis, Indiana, Columbus, Ohio, Memphis, Tennessee, and Nashville, Tennessee as well. And again, this is fueled by that tornado risk. Still staying at 10% hatch risk for tornadoes, even though conditions are looking more likely for tornadoes today with the newest HRRR run, which I'll show you guys in a second. The SIGTOR numbers are higher than yesterday. Let me show you the winds here, and they have enhanced this to a 45% wind risk across that enhanced risk here, spanning all the way from the Michigan-Indiana border all the way to the Arkansas-Louisiana border. So again, another large area of the country could experience widespread damaging winds today. That's a population of over 19 million and that 45% wind risk. So large population of the country. There's that hail risk as well, and we do still have that 30% hatched risk for severe hail. So again, all the severe weather threats are on the table for today, and I think it's gonna be a very active next 24 hours of severe weather ahead of us. Let me go into tomorrow's here. Let me push this forward for you guys. This is the outlook for tomorrow, and as you can see, it is an enhanced risk for severe weather. The threat has pushed a little bit further east than what we once expected because the thunderstorm develop is expected a little bit later in the day, which obviously means that threat's going to be a little bit further east. But they did issue an enhanced risk for tornadoes, and it's a 10% risk for tornadoes as well. It's not an enhanced risk. It's not a hatched risk, which is good. That's what I would suggest. I don't think it's going to be strong tornadoes or anything like that. I personally would not issue 10% risk for tornadoes tomorrow. I'd probably keep it at 5% risk. I think there'll be a couple of spin-up tornadoes, but I don't think anything widespread tornado-wise is likely tomorrow. We also have that wind risk spanning all the way from up to Vermont, New Hampshire, all the way basically to Tampa, Florida. And then we have that hail risk as well for more of the mid-Atlantic going into the south. So we'll keep an eye on that. I'll update you guys on the risk for tomorrow and tomorrow morning's video. But I do think there is some severe weather likely going into Monday as well. This is the day 3 outlook, and as you can see, we still have that slight risk across portions of Illinois, Iowa, Nebraska, going into Kansas as well as Missouri, and you can say a teeny portion of Wisconsin as well. And again, there is a 15% hatch risk for storms. That's going to be right where these storms fire off. And this is expected Tuesday evening. This is going to be Tuesday evening going into the overnight hours. So this is going to mostly be a nocturnal risk for severe weather. But this severe weather risk has definitely uptrended over the last 24 to 48 hours or so. Let me show you that day 4 risk. And here's that day 4 risk. We still have a 30% chance for severe weather going in. Now this is to Wednesday here. And as you can see, we've had this now for 2 days, this enhanced risk for severe weather. Again, this setup looks very similar to what we're seeing today. And I would argue that this setup even has a more likelier chance of producing even more widespread severe weather than today's threat. So we'll continue to keep a close eye on this as another major severe weather outbreak could be likely. And then you go into the day 5 outlook, and this was just issued today, a 15% slight risk for severe weather across much of the same portions, just a little bit further east. This would now be going into Thursday. So very active weather ahead of us here. You don't see it too often where you have a slight or enhanced risk for severe weather 5 days in a row. I think you can make the argument that Friday we're going to probably see some widespread severe weather as well. So I'll just keep checking back for daily updates, and I'll keep updating you guys each and every day on the severe weather threat to expect for that day, because there's a lot to cover when you're dealing with a multi-day severe weather outbreak. So this is the HRRR model, and this is the run that's actually currently coming out right now. This is the 12Z run. So you can see right now nothing crazy happening across the middle of the country here. Just some scattered showers and storms. So watch this. This is going to Sunday afternoon. Look at all this convection here spark up here across portions of Missouri and Arkansas. And a lot of this right off the bat is looking discrete. And right when these fire up, I would say these are going to have the greatest potential for tornadoes, especially when they're discrete like this. This looks like it's going to occur for a couple hours. You're going to see storms here more to the south fire up as well across portions of Texas and Arkansas. Again, these will eventually form into a line of storms. This is now going into this is around midnight right now, Sunday tonight. So this is around midnight. And this is going to Monday morning. That severe weather threat's going to die off pretty much after midnight, at least tornado-wise. This could still definitely produce damaging winds here across portions of West Virginia, going all the way down into Tennessee and even into Mississippi. But that tornado risk is definitely going to be lower once we get past, I would say, the midnight hour. And these continue to the east, and this is going into tomorrow. And you're going to see those storms kind of refire off going into tomorrow afternoon. Let me show you the SIGTOR real quick. And this is definitely uptrended over the last, I would say, 48 hours or so. These are the current numbers right now, but watch this. This is going into this afternoon here, and you can see these numbers really increase over a wide area. And as we go into the evening, these numbers really increase. And now we're seeing values here of maybe a 4 going into even a 5. Look at this right here. There's a 7. So these are definitely uptrended. And I would not be surprised if this newest outlook that comes out this afternoon for today's severe weather threat, I would not be shocked if they upgrade it to a moderate risk for tornadoes with a 15% hatched risk for tornadoes. I think the SIGTOR has definitely uptrended over the last 24 hours or so. So this is around 10 o'clock, 11, and then 12. You can see that severe weather threat really dies off. But let me go back for you guys. I would say it's really going to begin here right around the 3, 4 o'clock. So I would say from around 4 to around, I would say midnight, good 8 hours or so. I think there's definitely going to be that tornado risk with this storm. And now this is obviously going to tomorrow. These values really die off here. And then this is as far as the model goes, but they'll spike up for a little bit tomorrow afternoon, kind of increasing that risk for tornadoes. Here's lastly the total precipitation expected over the next couple of days. Let me push this forward for you guys. Obviously, most of the eastern U.S. is going to pick up some precip from these thunderstorms. This is through Tuesday here. This is now going into Wednesday. So a large area of the country is going to be picking up precipitation from these storms. It may add up here across portions of kind of the central U.S. from Arkansas going up into Ohio here. This is now through Friday, and you can see multiple rounds of thunderstorms are expected over these areas. And really, I think there's going to be multiple days here of severe weather across a lot of these same areas, basically from northeastern Texas all the way to around central Ohio. This corridor here, I think, is going to see some widespread severe weather over the next week or so, especially today and Wednesday and Thursday as well next week. And look at that, precipitation could add up. The European putting out totals almost up to 12 inches of rainfall here across a wide chunk of the country. Look at this, portions of right around the Texas border. It's putting out, totals 13 inches here. So just, be careful. This rain may add up. Luckily, this is over, again, a 7-day span, but a lot of heavy precipitation could happen from these thunderstorms over the next week. I thank you guys all for stopping by. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Can you just keep checking back for daily updates on the weather ahead? Again, a lot of weather going on right now, a lot of active weather. So just continue to just keep tracking back for daily updates, and I'll bring you obviously the newest information every morning. And it should be a busy week of weather ahead. Hopefully these severe weather threats are not as potent as they look right now. So again, I thank you guys for stopping by. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.